Here is the full translation into grammatically correct and well-articulated English, preserving the emotion, nuance, and structure of the original narrative. That morning, the sun had yet to fully pierce through the thin veil of mist hanging low over Seoul. Yet behind the glimmering world of stages and spotlights, another story was being quietly written, penned by unseen hands. A story of hope, compassion, and dedication born from a love that seeks neither recognition nor reward. Not love in the cliched sense, but a love expressed in its noblest form, care for others. And at the heart of this story lies a name that connects every movement, a golden thread weaving through each act: Jungkook, the golden magne of BTS, an artist who has silently become a symbol of humanity. Donation is a word often spoken lightly, yet few truly understand its depth. But for the community of Jungkook's fans, known globally as the Jungkook Global Union, donation is far more than a symbolic gesture. It is a reflection of the values they've absorbed from the one they admire. This year, to commemorate Jungkook's birthday on September 1st, they decided to do something beyond the usual social media birthday trends. They chose to touch lives that genuinely need support. The project they initiated was no small endeavor. They launched a large-scale fundraising campaign to build a medical facility dedicated to patients suffering from ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, and other neuromuscular disorders in South Korea. ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, is a neurodegenerative illness that attacks nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord, leading to relentless and progressive paralysis. There is no known cure, and those afflicted often face social isolation, mental health challenges, and limited access to adequate care. The fans' decision to focus their donation on this cause was no coincidence. For years, Jungkook has consistently expressed concern for both mental and physical health, through both his words and actions. He often speaks about the importance of living a healthy life, building a support system, and staying strong under pressure. In one of his live streams, he once said that the most valuable thing in life is being able to make a positive impact on others. Those words deeply resonated with his fans, becoming a sort of moral compass that led them down an unexpected but profoundly meaningful path. The fundraising began quietly, without excessive fanfare. Yet within less than a month, the amount collected had reached hundreds of millions of Korean won. Fans from all corners of the world, Asia, Europe, the Americas, and the Middle East, came together in a collective spirit that transcended language, culture, and time zones. Behind the scenes, administrators of various fanbases worked tirelessly, nearly without sleep, coordinating social media campaigns, verifying donations, and communicating with health organizations to ensure the project would have a real and measurable impact. A turning point came when a humanitarian organization in Korea, one that specifically aids patients with neurological disorders, publicly voiced their support. They welcomed the donation as a much-needed breath of fresh air amid the scarcity of medical facilities designed for patients with special needs like ALS. In their official statement, they noted that ALS patients have long been overlooked, as the disease is rarely discussed in public discourse. We never imagined that the first steps toward changing this situation would come from a group of fans of an idol, said the director of the organization, eyes glistening during an emotional interview. It wasn't long before the story of Jungkook's fans reached Korean media. Several major news outlets ran special reports, highlighting how fandoms today are not just spaces of fanatical admiration, but emerging as social agents capable of driving tangible change. Many dubbed the project a silent revolution because without the noise of stages and spotlights, these fans quietly built something very real. One of the most moving stories came from a 37-year-old woman named Minji, who has lived with ALS for the past 5 years. She wrote an open letter to Jungkook's fan community, published through an online news portal. In her letter, Minji described how, for years, she felt as though her life was like a wall slowly crumbling brick by brick, with no way to stop it. But upon hearing that a new clinic was being built specifically for patients like her, she felt as though she had been given a sliver of light she never even dared to dream of. Minji's letter went viral. Many were deeply moved, and some even chose to donate after reading her words. Several local celebrities anonymously contributed to the project, further proving that the wave of love initiated by Jungkook's fans had spread far beyond the boundaries of any fandom. Amid all this, one thing remained consistent: the silence of the one who inspired it all. Jungkook, in his typically humble way, made no official statement about the project. But for his fans, that silence is not neglected as consistency. Jungkook has always believed that actions speak louder than words. They are confident that if he knew about the initiative, he would feel proud, perhaps a little shy, but undoubtedly touched. Because this project isn't about seeking praise or validation. It's an expression of love that doesn't crave applause, a love meant only to be seen by those who need it most. Today, the clinic's construction has entered its early stages. The land has been purchased, architects have been contracted, and plans are being developed in consultation with medical specialists and patient representatives. The clinic will offer not only medical services but also therapy rooms, educational centers for patients' families, and even temporary housing for those traveling from other cities. It's a facility many patients could only dream of, and now it's becoming a reality thanks to a community of people they've never even met. What's remarkable is that Jungkook's fan community has refused to claim ownership over the project. They've declined to name the clinic after the fandom, or even Jungkook himself. "This isn't about us, it's about them," wrote one fanbase on their social media page. "We just want to show that love can go beyond a phone screen, it can become bricks and rooftops that protect real lives." In many ways, this movement is a beautiful irony in a world often dismissed as superficial. Who would have thought that a fandom, frequently stereotyped as a group of hysterical teenagers, could become a force that builds actual medical infrastructure? That in a world plagued by uncertainty, pandemics, war, and environmental crises, there remains space for honest love, love that builds, heals, and expects nothing in return. In an old interview, Jungkook once admitted he wasn't sure if he deserved to be a role model. "I'm just an ordinary person trying to live the best I can," he said, slightly awkward. And perhaps it is exactly that honesty that makes him so inspiring. Because he doesn't pretend to be perfect. He shows that being good isn't about grand gestures, but about consistency and sincerity. Maybe someday, Jungkook will walk down a street in Seoul and pass by the clinic. He might pause, glance at the building with quiet curiosity, and offer a small smile, unaware that behind each brick lies the prayers of thousands whose lives he unknowingly touched. And perhaps, behind that smile, a quiet emotion will stir, because in a world often too loud, the strongest love is sometimes born in silence. This story is far from over. What is being built is not just a clinic, but a new culture, a fandom culture that cares, that acts, that proves love for an idol can become love for the world. A love that doesn't just cheer at concerts, but kneels before human suffering, rises, and heals. And in that story, Jungkook's name will always be present, not on a plaque, but inscribed in the hearts of those who chose to love not just with words, but with action. Here is the English translation of your beautifully written paragraph, rendered with care to preserve its depth, tone, and emotional resonance. The clinic currently under construction stands as a tangible symbol of solidarity that transcends the boundaries of the entertainment world. It exists not because of fame alone, but because of a deep conviction that true love for an idol is not about possession or blind admiration, but about emulating the goodness they radiate in their everyday life. Jungkook's fans have chosen to see his birthday not merely as a day of celebration, but as a moment to breathe new life into those who have nearly lost hope, ALS and neuromuscular patients who have long been marginalized in public health discourse. More than that, this movement proves that social change doesn't always have to begin with politicians or large institutions. It can start in digital spaces, in conversations among teenagers on social media, in quiet commitments that grow into extraordinary collective power. Those who were once dismissed as just fans have now become pioneers of humanity, building a bridge between the dazzling world of entertainment and the raw, aching reality of those in need of care and attention. In the end, this story teaches us that sincerity, when shared, holds a power that surpasses imagination. The clinic built by the love of Jungkook's fans will stand as an eternal testament that behind every song we enjoy, there are silent voices being heard, embraced, and fought for. That love, even the kind born from screens and songs, can heal a world that is hurting.